What's going on, guys? This is Bronco Juggalo, and I'm coming at you with another tag video. This tag was created by Horror Digest, and I'll be putting his link in the description box below. I was tagged in by Dylan Beans and also by the Horror Man. So I'm going to give my answers to the 6 questions that Horror Digest came up with. I've got them right here on my pad. Let's jump right into these questions, guys. There's some awesome questions here. And I got to give a big shout out to Horror Digest for coming up with this tag. It looked insanely good. I really wanted to do it. I was so excited all day to get home and do this tag video. Here we go, guys. Question number 1. We already have Alien vs. Predator and Freddy vs. Jason. What 2 other horror icons do you want to see battle in the next Versus film? Well, I gave this a lot of thought all day long while I was at work. I had time to really think about this. I want to see Patrick Bateman from American Psycho versus Hannibal Lecter. I would love for a plot storyline to be where Patrick Bateman goes to Hannibal as a patient and just see what these 2 evil minds decide to come up to do to the other without the other knowing about it. So that's where I'm going with that one, guys. Okay, guys, unfortunately one of my lights just went out and I'm out of natural light since it's the evening already. So I'm going to finish this video up. I'm sorry that it's going to be a little bit darker. I apologize for that. Question number 2. If you were in a horror movie scenario, would you rather survive but have some of your friends die? Or would you rather have some of your friends die than survive? I've been a little shocked by some of the answers I've seen on this question. But honestly, to tell you the truth, and I'm not saying that I'm any kind of hero or anything like that, I truly believe that I would try to do everything I could to make sure my friends survive, even if it meant me dying. I have some very personal beliefs on this kind of on this subject, and those beliefs are very much that it is better to lay your life down for somebody else. I've never been in a horror movie type situation, but I have been in situations where you have to rely on the person you're with or the team you're with for your life. And I have been placed into situations where I have had to put myself into danger to keep the people around me and the people on my team from being in danger. And at the time that it happened, it was a no-brainer. I didn't even think about it. So I can say from some personal experience, I really feel that's what I would do. I would, if I had to, sacrifice myself for my team or my friends or whoever I was with. I know some people are going to say, oh, you're full of shit. You don't know until you're in that situation. But that's honestly how I feel about it. So, question number 3. In a horror movie, are you the final girl, the first to die, the comic relief, the skeptic, or the killer? I honestly don't know who I would be in the horror movies. I want to say that I would be the final girl or guy because I would hopefully be able to outdo the killer. But what I want to say, actually, and maybe it's just because there's so many urges in life that you're not allowed to act on and so many frustrations we have to deal with every single day. I really just want to be the killer. I don't know if that makes me sound mean or psychotic or anything, but most times, most days, I just want to be the killer. The best thing about being the killer is, especially if it becomes a franchise, if you do a movie well enough, you're going to keep coming back. So you got job security, buddy. Question number 4. We have seen horror icons in space, such as Jason and Leprechaun. Who do you want to go to space next? I actually just did a science fiction horror tag that had a similar question, but my question was, who do I want to see shot into space because I don't like them? With this one, I'm almost giving a similar answer, but I think it's because this would work. I want to see the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers 2 go into space for an adventure. If you watch my channel, you can see my Jeepers Creepers review and ranking video. I did all three videos, or all three movies in one video, and the ranking. I do not like this franchise, but I think the Creeper has such great potential, and the way he looks is almost alien anyways. I would love to see him shot off into space and go be a creep on some alien planet. I think that would be a better movie than the three that we got. Because I'm sorry, I hope you're not offended by this, or if you love these movies, I'm sorry, but the three we got are terrible. I can't stand that franchise. So, I own two of the movies, and I don't think I'm ever going to watch them again. Okay, question number 5. When making sequels, when is enough enough? I have two parts to this question, two-part answer to this question. First part answer is never. If I like the franchise, I don't care if there are some shitty sequels. Like in the Halloween franchise, it is my favorite franchise of all time. I cannot stand as sequels Halloween 3, Halloween Resurrection, and Rob Zombie's H2. I hate them. I absolutely can't stand them. They're terrible films. I wish they were never made. But if I still get better sequels after those to make up for it, then I'm okay with it. And just a little side note, I also hate Halloween by Rob Zombie 1, but that's not a sequel, it's a remake. So, that's my first part of my answer. The second part of my answer is actually after the first movie. If a horror movie is awesome as a standalone film, it answers all the questions, it takes care of everything it needs to answer, there is no need for a sequel. And there's really no need for 8 sequels. Example for this scenario is Saw. Some of the Saw sequels were okay. There was never a single Saw sequel that matched that first movie, in my opinion. I hear a lot of people say, oh, Saw 2 is great. I'm sorry, I didn't think it was that good. I didn't think any of the sequels afterwards were that good. I've watched them all. I own them all. I get some enjoyment out of them. But Saw was a movie that was so good, no sequel could ever match it. It shouldn't have been done. If I'm going to be brutally honest, Halloween is the same way. The first film was so good, it did not need a sequel. But I'm glad it got sequels because I love that film so much. And I love the franchise. I love every film in that franchise, with the exceptions of the ones I named. This is our final question on the list. Name a horror movie that was ruined for you by the ending. I'm going to have to go with a movie I just watched recently, and I've seen this movie before, but it was so long ago that I found it at the store, and everybody talks about this movie as being a classic, as it being one of the greatest all-time old-school horror films. But to me, the ending was so lackluster and so blah, and it just was so anticlimactic that it completely ruined the film. And that movie, for me, is the Amityville Horror. Now, going back on rewatch on this movie the other day, I felt that the movie dragged a little bit. It's got that very slow build-up, but in some places that slow build-up works. But when you compare it to a modern-day possession film or haunting film, like The Conjuring, and I love The Conjuring, it's not that great. But what I'm saying as far as this goes is I was sitting there watching the movie and I'm kind of enjoying the slow build-up it's giving. And I'm expecting this huge payoff at the end. And I think it's coming. I think that he's going to go in and kill his entire family. I think that the house is going to go nuts and start killing everybody. And none of that happens. There's a big storm. They run out of the house. They get in the car and they drive away. That's it. I was extremely disappointed by the ending. Like I said, I've seen this movie before, but it was so long ago I really didn't remember it very well. I remember the remake, and it's one of the few it's one of the few times I think that the remake is better than the original. And I know that's probably going to get me crucified, but that's the way I feel about it. So, well, that's it, guys. Once again, I would like to thank Horror Digest for coming up with this tag. I would like to thank the Horror Man and Dylan Bean for tagging me in. The people I want to tag in are going to be Lee McCoy from Drumdums and Cody Leach from his channel, Cody Leach. I'm tagging you two guys in because as far as horror goes, you two guys are my absolute favorites. I hope you do this tag, but like I said, if you don't, that's okay. I appreciate you guys taking time just to watch my videos. So, thank you guys.
Thank you,